Oh, really, mama, really, mama, hey,
I've got an assignment today to go and photograph Soccer City Stadium. The idea today is to get a view of this gigantic calabash of a stadium with the city of Johannesburg in the background.
Impilo yakuwe esandleni sakho akekho munye amaphutha wakho enziwa nguwe nezindlela zakho zaziwa nguwe impumelelo yakho isesandleni sakho.
In 1998, when I arrived in the township of Tembisa, and the first day that I met the 10 kids that I was going to be working with, first of all, they were really shy. I think they were very surprised to see me. One, a woman. Two, I came from America. And I was the first African American that had come in their township to do anything with them.
What I can remember is that my mother told me there's this lady who's coming from America. She's gonna do that and that and that about the photo shoot. Right, I got excited. Oh, I'm gonna meet somebody new.
I went to South Africa to do an artist residency, and it ended up that I began teaching photography.
When I first met Iris, wow, Iris had an afro and looked beautiful. Didn't speak any of the African languages. Iris had come to do a project where she would teach photography and life skills to a group of children in Tembisa who were a few years younger than me.
Closer, go closer. Just the head. We don't want the whole body.
None of the 10 children had ever seen cameras other than perhaps on television, but they had not seen and held a camera in their hands.
It was my first time holding a camera. They were teaching me how to shoot, to press the button and see the flashlight. And
I had no idea that the workshops that I was doing was going to impact the kids' lives.
Growing up in Tembisa, it has its ups and downs. We are affected by poverty. We are overcrowded, unemployed, lack of information. Like when we finish school, we don't know where to go, who to ask. My mom, she wasn't working. I've got 6 siblings. So it takes a strain at me because sometimes I will wake up and say, there's no point going to school because next day I'll know I'll be sitting around. So why don't I just take the easy way out? The easy way out is crime.
I had been going back and forth with tertiary institutions, busy losing hope, and standing in front of factory gates with the board written no job.
I met Sydney through a photographer, a friend of mine in South Africa. I knew that I needed someone to come with me to the townships. I snagged him up and I said, you know, Sydney, if you can do these workshops with me and you can be my guide and interpreter, then I will leave you this Olympus. And I gave him that camera.
I don't think she knows how important that camera was in advancing my photographic ambition. I would have just ended at beginner's level and went back to the township and continued to be idle.
One in full frame and
A lot of things that I learned was not through what she said or consciously showed me. It was how she carried herself that taught me what life is.
And not only were we photographing, we were also making handmade books where they would have to do some writing and tell their stories that way.
It was my first time starting to write something about what's happening in the outside world.
They had not been asked by anyone to talk about their lives or to talk about their environments and their families and their dreams. And I knew that photography allowed children to do that because it's a form of expression, it's a form of visual expression. The bigger picture here is that there are different ways to impact children's lives. There are different ways that children learn. There are different tools that we can use to help children learn. I know for a fact that art has been a tool. Art in general has been one method in which I'm able to teach young people.
A very small percentage of African children actually go to universities and graduate. So there's a lot of academic exclusion going on in South Africa currently.
When an education system is not strong and fails a lot of its pupils, it's very difficult to talk about an empowered youth. But there's no correlation between race and achievement, that anybody can achieve, anybody has the potential. The biggest religion in any country should be education, education, and education.
I don't know where I would be today had it not been for that gift from Iris.
For me, I just find an urgency to make this film. I find an urgency to share this journey that's taken place, you know, over a 10, 11-year period.
You see, then it's a privilege to us in South Africa to have people from America. A very good privilege. It's everything, it means everything to us.
This film will show that there are so many ways that you can give back.
Babi, c'est bon.